Plus now you can see Riley in the window. Instagram can't see him, but the Facebook can see him. Oh, my Riley kitten. This is my angel, my little Riley cat. He's like, Mom, I'm looking out the window. I don't want to be on camera now. It's my little Riley cat. Happy solstice. Blessed be, blessed to you on this winter solstice. Hey, Lily. There's so much energy, and there's can't hear me. Why can't you hear me? Uh-oh, why can't you hear me? Chris Judd says she can't hear me. No? How's that? Is that better? I have my volume turned down because I was listening to a different video before and they were really loud. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Chris Judd, my technological guru. So there's a lot of energy today with, like a lot of energy with the solstice. And remember, we have talked about, yay, thank you. We have talked before about how energy doesn't open, it's not like a light switch, right? So energy opens, energy closes. It is not, it does not shift on a dime. And so we are going to be in this energy of the solstice for a long time, for at least another 2 days. So, it is really important that if you haven't already, that you take some time. And if you didn't catch me, especially on Instagram, I couldn't do it, but I was outside under my beautiful tree Nechama around 1:30 today for some really specific solstice stuff. So head over to my Facebook page and you can catch that video too. I will put both videos on my YouTube channel a little later today. But it was so beautiful to spend some time under Nechama. I was freezing my butt off. Me, wussy Florida blood, thin blood girl here. That's I own that. I have lived all over the world, all over the country, I should say, and I will own that. Chris Judd, you cracked me up. And I will own that. I sat outside and I was freezing. But I want to just, if you didn't get a chance to see that video already, I do want to just remind you to breathe. Because especially if you are empathic or sensitive to energies, this is like the whoa mama, like Olympics of energy, because so much is, yeah, I know, 60 degrees in Florida. I own it. I am a cold wuss. I love cold weather. I just don't want to be cold. But this is the whoa mama of energy with the solstice. So it is really important that you take some time to, they're like tingling me all over my third eye right now. So it was really important that you take some time to get quiet in the time of the solstice today. Definitely try and get outside this evening as the sun is setting where you are so that you can see the conjunction, because that is amazing to be able to see something that no one else alive will see. Okay, so only the people who are on the planet right now are going to be able to see this. No one else is going to be able to see this. And it's like Halley's Comet. I remember seeing Halley's Comet when I was a kid. I will not see it again. My kids might see it in their lifetime. I want to remind you that spirit is strong. Spirit is pushing on us right now. And so it is so important with this massive energy push that's going on. Imagine like this cosmic energetic explosion, and we are all cavitating from it. Okay, but it's not a bad thing. This is the time of beautiful release and regeneration and massive manifestation. I want to remind you that manifestation can happen slowly or it can happen in a blink. So we talk a lot about how energy doesn't turn on and off like a switch, but manifestation can happen that way. I have seen things manifest in 20 minutes. I mean, literally faster than Amazon can deliver. And then I have seen manifestation that just creeps up on you where you take a minute and you're like, hey, that thing I wanted is here. I didn't notice that it had sort of crept itself in. It built itself block by block. And now that thing I wanted is here. So trust in the process. Trust that the universe has your back. Trust that sometimes that means that stuff's got to get out to make room for new stuff to come in. Okay. So we tend to get very attached to stuff. We tend to get very like, no, 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 I don't want change, except we want manifestation. We want to manifest our, you have 45 minutes after sunset to watch and to see the conjunction. My friend Elias, my dear friend Elias Patras says, some of you know Elias, he's so awesome. So thank you for that, my darling. So we want things to manifest, but we don't want to create change. We don't want to allow change, and you can't have it both ways. It's so important that you are open to the process, that you are open to the change, love you back, and that you are open to what the universe is trying to create and shift in your life. But then we get into like, no, I don't want to let go of, whatever. And so we block it for ourselves. And so just remember that all things work together for good, always, even the shit. So when it seems like stuff is just going completely wrong, it is still for our benefit. And I want to emphasize that word for. It is for our benefit. It is not happening to us. It is happening for us. And it's happening for our benefit, to clear crap out of the way, to make room for the thing we've asked the universe to bring us in the first place. But right now, all the lights are on. Up in the sky, literally, all the lights are on. And I have to laugh because I think I mentioned last week how a very sweet friend brought me an ivy plant because I was having sadness, and it has little fairy lights in it. And I don't know exactly why, but the fairy lights are on today. I did not turn them on. Nobody that I know of in my household turned them on, and yet the fairy lights are on. So it's making me smile. So literally all the lights are on right now, and Spirit is, thank you so much. Happy everybody. Thank you, Robin. Happy all the people on Facebook. I'm sorry I didn't say hello to everybody personally. Literally all the lights in the universe are on tonight, never more so than tonight. And we have this opportunity to literally wish upon a star. Allow yourself that opportunity. And I think a lot of times we get into that place where we are like, oh, no, I'm fine, or there's not anything I need, or there's not anything I want. It doesn't have to be for you. It doesn't have to be material. It could just be peace in your heart. It could be peace on earth. It could be health and happiness for others and for those around you. It could be the prayer for ending the pandemic. I mean, there are so many different things, but I would ask you to really go inside of your heart and take a few minutes today to get quiet and to be able to say, what do I need to release in this massive time of transition? And then breathe in again. What do I want to call in for myself to help me move forward on my path during this time of massive transition? What do I want to contribute to the greater good of the world during this time of massive transition? And those are the things that I think are so incredibly important. What do I need to release? What do I want to manifest for myself? And what do I want to contribute to the world? It doesn't have to be all about you. And it doesn't have to be something big to contribute, to make a difference. You know the story of the starfish along the water, along the edge of the water. There's like thousands and thousands of starfish, and then there's the small child that's walking along, throwing them all back into the water one by one. And the adult comes along and says, child, what are you doing? You can't possibly make a difference. You can't possibly throw all the starfish back. And the child looks at the starfish in their hand and says, well, it makes a difference to this one, and throws it back. We can make a difference. Something small, we can make a difference. So Robin asked any suggestions on what we should say. They are just like everything right in my T-zone is itching, and I know it's not a skincare issue. I know that they're so excited to have a connection today. I want to say, as far as releasing goes, I want to encourage you to look at what things you may be holding on to that no longer serve your highest and best purpose. And for so many of us right now, that has to do with anger and frustration and sadness. This has been a very difficult time. If you're like me, I'm a very, loud and proud left-leaning, liberal Democrat in the United States. So if you are someone who is more left-leaning, this has been a very frustrating period of time. Now, if you are someone who is more right-leaning, this has been a very frustrating period of time. And so there is so much anger and frustration that is surrounding us right now, that the thing that I would say as far as taking that time to say, what can I release? What is no longer serving my highest purpose as you're breathing? And I know that I walked through that. I took one breath for each subject and for each question. And honestly, I would tell you to take several breaths. Take as many breaths as you need. And in that, to say, what do I need to release? What do I no longer need to hold on to? What is no longer serving my highest and best purpose? The things that I would say are, what anger, what frustration, what sadness is no longer serving me as I move forward on my path, because we hold on to that. Now, understand that you may not be ready to release some of that stuff. I know for me personally, I have really been working on releasing sadness, and it's not going that well because there's a lot of things right now for me to feel sad about, and that's okay. That has to be okay. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. And there's no, oh, just because she's releasing this means I have to release this too. So it needs to be what is right for you. And let me say this about releasing things, that even a baby step is still a step forward. So we have this tendency to beat ourselves up if we're not doing enough and we're not, making the same as this person, or we're not as big, or whatever it is, it's not enough. And so I would like to encourage you, one of the things for us to release is not enoughness, because that's a load of crap that serves no higher purpose to anyone, anywhere. So to release not enoughness. And so release the things that no longer serve you to the extent that you can, because things may no longer serve you, but you may not be ready to release them. Now, anger serves no higher purpose. Okay, keep the lesson, lose the emotion, because we don't need anger. Okay, it serves no purpose to move our society forward, is my personal opinion. However, with grief and sadness, especially when we're dealing with loss, that is a whole other kettle of fish, because that is something that we have to come to in our own time. And so if you are dealing with active loss, perhaps you cry a little less today. Perhaps you focus on somebody else today. Perhaps you didn't think of your loved one 97 times today, maybe only 94 times today. Allow yourself to be where you are, and understand that grief is a process, and grief comes in waves. It's feel like I'm in the dark for both of the phone and for Instagram and for Facebook. So hopefully you can see me, because I feel like I'm in the dark. So for grief, allow yourself whatever level of release and little tiny micro step forward that you can. Allow that. I mean, when I was grieving the passing of my twin, and if you've been following me this last year, you know that's a journey I am still on. In the first 6 months, probably the first 8 months, I cried every single day. Every single day. It got less, but I cried every day. And I can say that now. I couldn't say that before. I couldn't even, there was a time where I just couldn't even talk about it. Allow yourself for whatever release and process and progress that you can make for you. And know that that's okay. But if you're holding on to anger or resentment, if you can let that go, you serve yourself better. I had a rift with someone who was extremely important to me, someone I love dearly, that we've been friends for just decades, and we had a rift, and I thought that perhaps it would be healable, and I think now that it's probably not. And I had a lot of emotions about that, and really to be able to let go of the anger and the frustration and the resentment, because that is not functional or productive if there ever is a door to open to heal that relationship. And so I hold on to hope. I hold on to the love of what was good in the relationship, and I hold on to let go of the resentment and the anger and the frustration. So I hold on to the hope. I hold on to the good memories, and I hold on to the love that I have for this person and for that family. I hold on to that love, and it's okay to not be able to release everything. For what can we call in? What would we manifest? What would you manifest? Would you manifest money in your savings account? Would you manifest a job that you love? A relationship that you love? A relationship where you are loved? Would you manifest no debt, that you have Christmas is paid for and you are debt free? Would you pay off debt? What else would you manifest? Because here's the thing, it is so okay for us to ask for what we want. It is okay to ask for what we need and for what we want. And we think sometimes, especially as women, I feel like especially as women, we often are reluctant to ask for self. And, you know, if you're asking for like a new diamond tennis bracelet, maybe there's a reevaluation of priority that might happen in there, but that's up to you, because only you know why you need a diamond tennis bracelet, because maybe you do. So it isn't about judgment, but it is about priorities. And when you really can dip deep into your heart, if I could have everything, anything, to really like sit on Santa's proverbial lap of, you know, the Santa of the universe, which is really, you know, that's source, that's oneness, that's God, that's creator, and ask for anything, what would it be? They are just, what would it be? And so for me, I ask for the continued safety of my family. My parents, I'm so lucky to be the age that I am, to have two living, healthy parents. I wish and pray for them to stay that way every day. I have two amazing sons that tower over me, and they are healthy and safe, and they have jobs they enjoy. And my younger one is going to go back to college. His school is going to open. They're going to have hopefully a soccer season, and he's going to go back to college in February. And I pray that all of my angels and guides keep him safe and protect him. And they have been so good about not having stuff on their keeping their campus safe. And I pray that that continues with all the kids coming back. And as you can see, I've got some emotions about that, because I have really enjoyed having them home all this time. As my older son continues a job that he loves and that seems to have really great forward-looking prospects for him, I continue to pray for him to be happy and to be safe. For my husband, who's got a job that is weird but beneficial, and it seems to be successful, and a blessing, a true blessing that fell out of the sky as his industry completely dried up during all this time. I pray for him to hold on to that job and to continue to enjoy it and to work with positive, healthy, safe people. And I am grateful every day for the safety protocols that come with that job. For me, I wish for continued platform growth where we can expand our community of light and we can help more people to come into this heartfelt environment and be part of something that is so built on love, and to be able to help more people. I always am so grateful for more people to find us and to find me and to learn about me and to allow me the honor of helping them to shift their grief and their life and to be able to help them move forward. And that is something that just brings so much joy and hope to my heart. And I also always am grateful for every time I can write a check or make an online payment that pays off something else, whether it's a car or a credit card or a college loan. I am grateful for every time I can see that number hit zero. And so I look forward to continuing that as well. So it's okay for it to be about others. It's okay for it to be about self. It's okay for it to be material. It's okay for it to be whatever it is that speaks to you. I wish to be happy. I have so much joy and gratitude in my life, and I wish to hold on to that. I wish to be happy. And I wish for my friends to be safe. I wish for the time when I can hug my friends. That would make me very happy. So there is, Robin, there is not a wrong way. When you speak to the universe, you speak to God, you speak to source, creator, oneness, you speak to your higher self, you speak to your angels and guides, and you speak to your loved ones in spirit. The loved ones in spirit are people who love us. God, source, creator loves us. Our guides, they love us. They are with us because they love us and because they want to create more love and joy and happiness in our lives. They choose to be guides. They choose to be around us. They don't have to be. They choose to be around us because they love us. And so there is literally no wrong way. Okay. The only thing that is the wrong way to speak to spirit, the universe, God, angels, guides, loved ones, the only wrong way is to not be honest. Okay. And remember, you can do this in your mind. You can do this just by putting your hands on your heart. You can do this in a quiet room. You can do this on a journal page. You can do this walking on the treadmill and just allowing yourself to go there in your mind. No one else needs to hear what you are saying. You don't necessarily need to say this out loud unless you want to. You don't have to share this with anyone. This is your opportunity to truly talk with spirit and to truly put your desires out into the universe. And so the third part for me is, what can I now give back? How can I contribute? What can I do more? What can I do to help make something beneficial for others? And so here where I live in Orlando in Central Florida, there is an amazing, amazing charity that was started by my incredible girlfriend, Stephanie Bowman, called One Heart for Women and Children. And so we went over there this weekend. My girlfriend had some extra Christmas trees from a fundraiser. We donated the Christmas trees. We donated Mary Kay products. We donated, I don't know about you, but we've been eating a lot of takeout in all of this time. And I have those utensil packs with, you know, the knife and the fork and the napkin and the salt and the pepper. I have those things coming out my ears. And for her organization that feeds the homeless in downtown Orlando, they can use those. And so we brought over probably 300 packs of silverware for them and a whole bunch of food donations. And it's stuff that can be used and that will be used to help and bless other people. We sponsored one of her a 14-year-old girl who was out of foster care and excited to get some personal pampering package for Christmas. And Stephanie asked if I would sponsor her, of course, through Mary Kay, happy to donate. So those were things that were so little to me, but will make such a difference to others. I also give money to, personally, a variety of charities. I am a big believer in giving lots of different places smaller donations rather than having to choose one place and giving a lump donation. So for me, I love organizations that support the environment, clean our oceans, protect women's rights, the right to choose and decide my own things for my own body, gay rights and LGBTQIA equality, women's equality, and then also, of course, the Mary Kay Foundation is extremely close to my heart, that works to end domestic violence and cancers that affect women. And we know that domestic violence has just shot through the roof during all this time. So where can you make a difference? It doesn't have to be big. You could donate $1. You could donate $5. I want to tell you, when my son was little, I took Dylan, my younger son, to the ballet to see the Nutcracker. At that time, we had many friends that were dancers among the Orlando Ballet, and I took him to see the Nutcracker, and he was so taken with the executive director who came out on the stage before the performance for the fundraising speech. If you've ever been to an art, performance, surely not recently, but if you've been to Broadway, they do Broadway Cares with the big red buckets, and then most arts organizations will talk about fundraising and donations before or after a performance. And he was so taken with that, and he so enjoyed the performance that he came home and emptied his piggy bank, and he gave me like $1.63. I mean, it was a pittance. But for him, it was all the money in the world. And so I wrote a check. I took his money and I wrote a check, and I wrote a letter to the executive director, who was someone that I knew personally. And I explained the situation, and they wrote him a thank you letter, a tax deductible thank you letter. I think he was 6 at the time. And the next time we went to a performance, the executive director made a point of seeking out my son and shaking his hand and looking him in the eye and thanking him for the donation. Because it wasn't the dollar amount that mattered. It wasn't the dollar amount. I'm sure that $1.63 didn't make a huge difference in their budget. But fostering appreciation and that feeling of what I did mattered in a 6-year-old kid has kept Dylan engaged with philanthropy and the arts from that moment forward. It made a huge difference to him, the little things that the executive director did to make him feel important. So it doesn't have to be about the money, and it doesn't have to be humongous. It doesn't have to have a lot of zeros. But what can we do to help change and make something better in the world? So this afternoon, I took some holiday cards to my neighbors on all 4 sides, because I have my street goes this way, and there's a street right in front of my driveway. So I have neighbors here, and I have neighbors that are literally right next to me. And so I made holiday cards, and I went along and I delivered the holiday cards just to say thank you for being great neighbors. And I love having you in my neighborhood, and I really appreciate that I can knock on your door if I need something, and just thank you for being lovely neighbors. I mean, it was nothing, but I know for them it meant something important. So what little things, and I'm not saying any of this to be like, oh, yay me. Okay, I'm saying that it doesn't have to be something big, where you can make a difference in someone else's life. And so as you are allowing yourself to move through this time of the solstice energy, because this is the winter solstice, this is when we welcome back the light. Today is the shortest day of the year. If you are in the northern hemisphere, if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's the longest night. I'm not really sure what the difference is, because it seems like the same thing to me. But I am a very novice astrology person. But we are welcoming back the light, because after today, the days will get longer and the light will be coming back. So we have seen our days get shorter as we come into winter. And even though today is the official start of winter, and we have been watching our days get shorter. So after today, the days will get longer. Now it's gradual. It is, a minute or 2 every day as we move towards the summer solstice, okay, when we have the longest day. So this is, I go back to where we talk about manifestation can kind of creep up on you. Okay, so it doesn't have to be, it's not necessarily going to be overnight, but in other times it can absolutely be in a manifestation in an instant. This is the opportunity where we welcome back the light, and we welcome the light into our hearts and into our mind and into gratitude. And so we say, hello, and how are you? And thank you to the universe. What do I need to do to move forward? What do I need to release and remove from my life to shift myself to be able to go forward? What do I want to bring into my life? What would I, in the wishing well, what would I wish for? And then what would I do? What can I do? What small things? Do big things, do small things, but not engaging in that not enoughness. That not enoughness is a disease on our society. It is terrible. So anything that you are doing, if it comes from your heart and you feel like it's enough and you feel like it's moving you and you're making a difference, then it's perfect. It's perfect. There is no need for comparison or enoughness, and please, if you're making donations, stay away from those things that is like, make a donation and get your name listed on. And for me personally, I tend to stay away from this. Just me personally, I tend to stay away from those things that if you donate this, we'll give you that. They don't need to buy. I'm not making a purchase. They don't need, if I'm going to make a donation, I'm making a donation because I'm making a donation. And I don't make a donation so that I can have my name listed on something so everybody else will know I made a donation, because it's none of their dang business. So those things lead us to not enoughness. And I think we completely miss the boat about what is important about the donation. And when you give the donation with love and with heart, It makes a difference to you. It shifts your energy, which expands you out, which then shifts the energy of all that's going on around you. We cavitate our little circles in the water, and we touch more when we raise our energy because we did something that made us feel good, because we wanted to do it, because we wanted to make other people feel good. We raise our energy so much that energy touches all the other people around us. And then, like smiles are contagious, they raise their energy in response to us, and we continue to expand and expand the energy of love. And that is how we change the world, with the energy of love. So, solstice greetings, solstice blessings. Make sure you give yourself the opportunity to go outside. I know it's cold, put on a jacket. I will be putting on a jacket, and make sure you give yourself the opportunity to see this amazing, great conjunction. And if you miss it tonight, you can see it tomorrow. So tonight is when they're going to be the closest. And if you've been watching it, they've been kind of getting closer. And so over the next few nights, they will be moving further apart. Tonight is when they're going to be the closest. Okay, I am going to skip grabbing one of our cards from the Oracle of the Seven Energies from Clefairy and Reed today, because I want to say to you that as we are moving, so this is, it's not the age of Aquarius, but we're moving into the sign of Aquarius. Now the moon is moving into Capricorn, but this conjunction and the sun is moving into Aquarius. And again, very novice astrologer, but we're in this air sign. Okay, so we're moving into this time of air. We've been in Earth. We are coming into a time of air. And so what happens in the universe on a larger scale is it moves through air, earth, fire, and water. And so we have been in Earth, which is very much about being grounded, destroying our planet, greed, what's in it for me, gathering. And as we move into this time of air, and this is where people are talking about the age of Aquarius. It's not quite the age of Aquarius, like, if you're singing the song in your head, it's not quite that. But as we're moving into this time of air, air is all about the intellect. It's all about the higher mind. It's all about science and wisdom. It's all about the intelligence. And it's all about communication. It's all about connecting with others with kindness, with compassion, with intelligence. And this is a huge shift that we're going to see moving forward. And if you've been following me at all, hi Tina, welcome. Hi Sharon, welcome. If you've been following me, you know I have this theology of humanity is evolving through the chakras. And so we have been living in the place of the throat chakra. And it's so exciting to have this shift with the Great Conjunction, because we're going to move into, we've been into the throat chakra with our words. Speaking, there has been so much about words going on lately. Fake words, real words, just words. And so as we're moving now into this time of the intellect, we come into the place of the third eye. We come into this place of knowing and understanding. But as we are moving up into these highest of the chakras, we have a tendency and a possibility of becoming less grounded. And so I want to skip pulling a Seven Energies card today, because I want to just say, stay in a place of grounded, because it's very easy to get up here into, especially for the empaths, we get up here into the airy fairy, into the crown, the third eye chakra and the crown chakra. It's important that as you are outside today and you are looking at the sky for the Great Conjunction, feel the earth. Feel the earth. Don't let your focus go so far up that you lose the balance. So stay grounded, stay connected with Mother Earth, stay grounded in reality, but as you are communicating with spirit and you're doing your manifestation ritual and you're breathing to release and to call in and then to share with the world, that's the place to let your heart and your third eye, and let that all just grow and go into the air. But as you are doing that, you want to keep your feet on the ground. Okay, keep yourself grounded. So I want to give you a little bit of the intention of focusing. As you're focusing up, you're also focusing down, that you're allowing yourself to have that full circle. When we clear our chakras, I like to stand with my 2 feet evenly spaced, like aligned with my shoulders. And I imagine that my energy is coming up through the lower chakras to my heart and spilling out like a little water fountain. And at the same time, the energy is coming down from above to my heart and spilling out. And so from my heart, it's going like this. Okay, so it's coming down and spilling out and going around this way, right? And then from the bottom, it's going this way. And so it's called running your chakras. And so you're bringing your energy in like this. So it comes in from above and below, it meets at your heart, splits out and goes back up and down. And so you're running your chakras. It's a great way to visualize. Takes a little practice, that one, but it's a great way to visualize yourself being connected as above, so as below, so that you have your feet on the ground, connected to Mother Earth while you are manifesting, but you are allowing your higher chakras to just wide open and really connect with the universe and talk to spirit, talk to your loved ones. Just know that every being that is up there has your back. Every being that is up there is connecting with you because they want to help, because they want to be a blessing to you, because they are there to support you. Okay, so I do want to grab our goddess card today and I remembered my glasses. See, we're making progress. I do want to grab a goddess card because I think sometimes we are not sure who to talk to. And Robin mentioned being unsure about what to say, but I think also sometimes people are maybe not sure who to talk to. And for me, that shifts from day to day. That shifts from day to day. So for me, a lot now in the past year, I talk to my twin because my twin flame is in spirit. And so I talk to him all the time. I lost another friend last week, so as soon as he is settled in spirit, I'm sure I will be talking with Stephen. But I talk to my Nana. I talk to my Nana a lot because I know she's someone who is helping me every day that my Nana is with me. My Nana had 2 grandchildren. She had myself and my sister, and I know that, so I know that she doesn't have a ton of places where she needs to be worrying about, how to spend her time with those of us here on the earth plane. So I know she's, oh, did you see that? Here's Riley. Oh, there he is. Just passing through behind me. I have a little pillow back here, and so he comes and sits on it. So I know my Nana is with me, so I talk to my Nana all the time. So who you talk to is who you talk to. And that's okay, because there's no wrong answer there. Because every being that's up there, angels, guides, animals, spirits, loved ones, they all love you, and they all want the best for you. So whoever you feel like talking to today, it's great. So I like to pull the goddess cards because I like to know who, which goddess energy has their hand on what's going on for us this week. And so this is why we pull the goddess cards. And this is from Colette Baron Reed. I do use a couple of her decks. I love her very much. Her work is amazing. And her decks are beautiful. The artwork on her decks is absolutely gorgeous. And so this is the Goddess Power Oracle. So this is Bronwyn. We have Bronwyn. So we'll look up with my glasses and see what Bronwyn is about, because this is stuff that I got to read because it's so beautifully written, and I don't channel the goddesses as much because there's a lot of mythology involved in that. So we have Bronwyn, who is about, oh, I love this. She's about forgiveness. She's about forgiveness. So this is the first thing that we talked about, was what do we need to release and let go of that is no longer serving us as we are in this time of the Great Conjunction. So this is about forgiveness, okay? So she says, sometimes life invites us into conditions that challenge us to the core. As a Celtic goddess, Bronwyn forgave those who caused her own death by a broken heart. She asks you to set yourself free from the seeds of resentment that will surely choke the life out of your dreams. We are wounded by others and weave stories about our hurts and losses that live on in our hearts and our minds. We come to distrust the potential love and connection. No matter what your story or when it began, forgiveness is the key to freedom here. Forgiveness allows mending and repair, opening the heart to give and receive. And I love that, because the reason that I spend time talking with you with the information that they bring into my mind before we start pulling cards is because then they provide cards that completely align with everything they have just shared with us. And I feel like to me that is so important, because so often people feel like, how do we trust her with that information? How do we know she's really channeling spirit and all of that kind of stuff? And so I always want to be evidential in my work. I always want to share evidential information. And so by doing it this way, by letting them channel through me first and then pulling cards after, it is so, because you can't make this stuff up. So I trust them completely. Okay, we do have a jumper card in Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle card deck, which I will tell you again and again, it's one of my favorites. Crystal Cove on Instagram is having these on sale, and this is one of my favorite decks to work with. Hello, Riley. If you've not met Riley yet, this is Riley. I will. I can do this on Facebook. I can't do this on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, this is Toby. Oh, there's Toby. This is Toby in his little Santa Claus sweater, but it's very cold, so he's in a blanket. Toby lives in my drawer. Let me see if I can do that for the Instagram folks. You see Toby? No. Let me see. I don't think I can turn the camera that far for you Instagram folks. I'm sorry. I'll try and do that before we hang up. All right, so we have a jumper card with the Work Your Light Oracle card and deck, and we'll shuffle one more time, as Riley loves to be seen on camera. I'm noticing that with my son's online college that was happening often in the kitchen over the last few months. Riley was very present in especially the philosophy class, so I know Riley is a very higher-minded cat, and he likes to be part of what's going on. So our first card is called Break the Chain, Ancestral Patterns, Healing and Rewriting the Future. Now, I want to say to you that this card came up upside down. So this is the card right side up. Okay. And then this is where it came up upside down. And so this is the reminder for us to allow the releasing that we've been talking about, allow those things to be released, because this is how we break the chain. Okay, so we have that resistance of, this is how it's always been done in my family, or this is how, whatever. And I want to encourage you to let shit go. Okay, I watched on the memorial service for my friend Stephen was yesterday, and it was interesting to see people from all these different places of where I know that there have been different kinds of relationships, and to watch all these people come together to participate in a memorial service for someone they may have known, they may not have known, maybe they knew the family, maybe they just heard about him, but it was really impressive to see over 200 people come together to honor this life. And in that, I know there were people that were breaking the ancestral chains, and I know that that has been a big part of Stephen's journey as well. So I want to encourage you that whatever it is that you are feeling called, as you ask yourself that first question of what do I need to release and let go, what ancestral chains can you be breaking? What places can you be letting things go that are no longer serving your highest and best purpose? Okay, it has been really, it's always so fascinating to me to see loved ones in spirit who are newly crossed over people that are familiar to me, and to see how their perspectives change when they get to the other side. We think that our loved ones hold this grudges and anger and frustration or whatever they may have held in this life. They don't take that with them, because when they get to the other side, they remember that veil is lifted, and they remember that the universe is born of love. And all of those things that they put on like a coat is what they were here to learn. It was the costume that they put on as the human manifestation of that soul to come here to learn those things, to learn those lessons, even if those lessons were hard or cranky. And when we get to the other side, we take off that coat and we leave that coat here, and we remember that we are soul who came to have a human experience, and that the soul is only love. And so when our loved ones get to the other side, there is no grudge, there's nothing but love. There's no anger, there's no hate. There may be apologies, but there is only love. And every person that I have been so honored to connect with on the other side, there has never, ever, ever been a person who's come through to say, I still hate your guts. I still think you stink. I'm not sorry. That has never happened. I want to say this also because never, ever, ever have I ever had a person that's come through and been like, whew, it is hot over here and I wish I had been a better person. Because that's not part of it. That's not part of it, because the only thing that's waiting for us on the other side is love. And when we get to the other side, we remember that all we are is love. So having said that, the next card that is available to us is yes. And I love this because this is so much about you asking, because that second question, right? The second question is you. What would you manifest? What would you bring in for yourself? What would you ask for yourself? And the answer is yes, which means ask it. Ask it. Don't waste this opportunity of the Great Conjunction and the Solstice, that where you have so much power to create. Ask your heart's desire, because the answer is yes. Ask it. Okay. And then the third question we had is, what is available? What can we do to help others? What can we do to make a difference in the universe? What we can do to make a difference in the world? And so this card is don't dim to fit in. Don't dim to fit in. And I love this because this is so much about the not enoughness bullshit. This is so much about you are enough, and what you are doing is enough, and what you are contributing, if it's coming from that place of love, is perfect. And so you do not need to dim your light. You do not need to compare yourself to anybody else. You do not need to do anything other than be you. Okay? So I want to open up for a couple of questions because they're telling me to. And I don't think that there's a better way for me to leave those cards. We'll come back and hit those again before we sign off. We've got a few more minutes. Yes, it is getting dark because it is the shortest day. And so we will see that it gets dark sooner. Today, it will seem sooner than any other day. And then tomorrow, it will be a little longer. So if you have questions about the solstice, about the Great Conjunction, if you have questions about the readings, hi, Maria. Thank you. Yes, replay. And that is what it's there for. If you've enjoyed the memes on my Instagram or on my Facebook page, all credit goes to Maria McGill for sharing them, and they have been perfect, and I really appreciate that so much. And if you have questions about this, please don't hesitate. I'll stay on for another couple minutes. I want to remind you that Bronwyn, the goddess of forgiveness, is the one who is with us for this time, because the first part of this solstice manifestation is about releasing things that no longer serve you. Forgive yourself, forgive those around you, release all of those things. And then to remember that we are in that process, we are breaking the chains of our ancestral lineage. Not to break our relationship with those folks, but we're breaking with the bullshit. So let me say that. We're breaking with the bullshit. Let me see. I have a question on Instagram. It says, can you connect with my mom, please? I will be delighted to give that a try in a moment. When we come back to that. Can you please type her name into the comments for me? Just give me her name on Instagram. And Chris Judd says, what direction do I need to take my businesses? Is what you're thinking about doing the right way to go? Loud. Chris Judd, loud. Okay, so yes, because you are so methodical and you are so organized and so well thought out, but you don't trust yourself. And also you don't, they're saying you're not leaning into them enough to help you, to trust that they're helping you, and to, tell me that again. Okay, well thought out, methodical, very organized. Okay, belief. So there's a big part of that is, you know you are good at what you do. You know that you are, and that you are helping so many people, but you're not leaning into them enough to ask them directly for the help and the guidance, and then also to trust that they will be there. Because like so many people, and this is not a condemnation of Chris and her actions in any way, shape, or form, but like so many people, we have this little glimmer, this spark in our heart. We want to ask this question. We want to say, please help me, please. And then we don't believe that they will. And I want to say to you that when you say that and you say, please help me, here's what I want, here's what I'm trying to manifest, this is why I want to manifest this, this is how it will benefit me and benefit others, and then let it go. And as you move forward with complete faith and confidence that it is coming. So my husband and I, we do this, we haven't done it in a while actually, and I've been thinking about it. We need to bring this back in the new year. And I think the reason we haven't done this is because everything that we had manifested had come. So we do the ritual of the cups. And if you've been following me for a while, you may have heard me talk about the ritual of the cups before. We have two different cups you can write on, like plastic or red cups or something you can write on them with a Sharpie marker, to be able to say, in the one cup you're writing, on the outside of the cup you're writing down, these are all the things that I don't, and it's not a list, but this is what I don't have. I don't have enough this, that, or the other thing. On the other cup, you're writing the opposite. I have more than enough, this, that, or the other thing. And then you take a small amount of water and you pour it into the first cup, the negative cup, and you read what's on the cup. And for me, I believe that you've got to close the circuit. So I hold the cup with two hands because, energy is like electricity. You've got to close that circuit. And so I hold the cup with both hands. I read what's on the cup. I feel into the stinkiness of it. I don't like how this feels, but I let myself feel it. And then I pour the water into the other cup, and I do the same thing. Two hands, I read what's on the cup, and I feel into the complete and total joy of that situation. I feel that longer. I feel that stronger. I just am so grateful to feel that. And then I drink the water. My husband and I, we drink the water. We do this together. And then I let it go. It is forgotten because I have given it to the universe. I have drunk the water, and I have 100% complete confidence that they will help bring that to fruition. And it's so funny because it's been on my mind to go back to doing the ritual of the cups. And the reason that we had stopped is because they gave us everything that was on the cups. So now I need to come up with new cups, which today is the perfect time to do that. So, okay. So you, Haro Mida Fosi Buddha Kli, get off my page. Get off my page. You are not welcome here. You spammer, scammer person. Goodbye. Go away. You delete, and we'll be blocking you later as quickly as possible. So my apologies for whoever that person is. Get off my page. Go away. So, sorry about that. The spammers are out in force. If you are ever following someone like me or anybody else, and they get somebody that messages you or comments and says, DM me for an accurate reading, please do not, because they're all just spammers and scammers, and they're trying to get your money. So please do not do that. And so for my apologies for the ones that came on the page. So Krista, you are on the right track, and I want to say to you where they are talking about, because what you're thinking about, the right way to go is yes, but where they're talking about is maybe to consider adopting the ritual of the two cups and to allow yourself to lean into them more. And then once you have leaned into them, just release it, trust them, because I think that's the place where you are maybe having a hiccup, that you are asking them for help and then you're worrying about it. And so instead of asking them for help and then releasing it, okay, makes sense? Okay. So back over to Instagram, because we had, oh my goodness, Maria, like Maria. Okay, she had her birthday this past week. Maria, okay. So, okay, so I want to say that right away what I feel like is this loving energy, and there's a small dog with her. I feel like, and we just do very quick mediumship when we're here, but I want to say there's a small dog with her, and that there is joy around having this small dog with her. So I'm not sure if there was a dog that had passed with you recently, or if she has been reunited with this small dog in spirit, but there's something about, or if the dog was a birthday present, but I feel like that there's joy filled around the dog. And also there's the comment about coming into the Christmas holidays, and there's something that was a special ritual for her with the Christmas holiday, and it's important to have, okay, reunited with the dog, thank you, and it's something that is a Christmas ritual that she wants to make sure that you don't skip out doing, because I feel like that's been a thought in your mind that, oh, maybe we want to do this because of COVID, or because that she wasn't with us this time. And so I want to say to you that there is very much this feeling of, don't skip my ritual, don't skip my tradition. Does that make, I hope that makes sense. And there's just joy and love, and I feel just my heart warm up. And I feel also I get the number one with her. Like you were either the oldest or the first child, the oldest or the only child, or you were the one who was responsible for everybody else. You were the one who took care of everything. And so there's a lot of joy in my heart, and there's a lot of pride about that. That you were the one who and strength. Also, she gives me the word strength because I feel like there's been some turmoil for you, not necessarily COVID related, but I feel like there's been turmoil for you, and that you have been showing more strength about you're the responsible one. Okay, the one who took care of everyone. Thank you. And there's this strength. She's talking about the strength that you have continued to just keep moving forward and keep everybody moving forward during these difficult times. And also, so she's giving me also, she's showing me a picture of like a bubble bath. I know you've been traveling. I know there's been beaches involved, and she's talking to me about image of like a bubble bath. Just a reminder to take more care of you, that while you are taking care of everyone else, to just take care of you, to make sure that you are putting an emphasis on that, because that is so important, that while you're taking care of everybody else, it's important that you are taking time for you as well. But there is so much love there. Also, she's pointing to a specific ornament on the tree. I feel like this is something that you had made, or okay, I feel like there's a little boy connected to this ornament, like your son made it, or that there's something about a little boy that's special about this ornament. So hopefully that is something you can understand as well. And I just want to tell you there's so much love that's there, and just again to make sure that don't forget her special tradition, because that's something that makes her very happy, and also to have that connection to bring her close to you. So I'll leave you with so much love for her with Maria. And okay, I'm so glad you can understand all of that. So I leave you with that. All right, so I want to say thank you. I want to remind you that this is the time to ask your questions, because of the universe, to ask for what you want, because the answers will be yes, and that you are so welcome, my friend. And not to dim your light to fit in. Do not dim your light to fit in. If it comes from your heart and you are putting something out in the universe to bless and help other people, to make the world a better place, if it comes from your heart, it is perfect. It is perfect. There is no reason for comparison or that bullshit of not enoughness. And just know that there is so much anger, frustration, hostility we can release. We don't need any of that. We can stop holding on to the negatives. We fill ourselves with love. Please remember to stay grounded as you are looking up at the conjunction, that we keep our feet on the ground, and that we are opening our hearts to the best wishes that we can make during this great conjunction, during this time of the Christmas season, the time of blessings and miracles. Because this is the great conjunction, is what they think was the Star of Bethlehem that led Joseph and Mary to the manger. So, and led all of the people that came to see the baby Jesus. Such a beautiful story of an incredible ascended master who brought so much love to our world. And I want to wish you all a wonderful, safe, healthy, joy-filled Christmas, and healthy, happy New Year. And if you were celebrating Hanukkah, I hope you had a beautiful Hanukkah celebration, which is all about the light, right? So this is all about bringing in the light. So allow all of this beautiful light, the light of the great conjunction, the light of the solstice, the light of the holidays, the light of the trees, the light of your heart. Allow all of this to come in, to welcome it, and to bless you. And I am so grateful for you spending some time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy holidays.